Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Jay Hitson, founder of GoodDoctors.Health, and you are watching our Community of Health 90 Days Momentum Build-Up series. This designed to really help individuals accelerate through the holiday season. I've been doing this for so long, and every single year, I have these incredible individuals who we end up talking at the first of the year, and they're just going through. Oh, I feel horrible. I completely got derailed over the holiday season. I so regret the choices I made, and you know what's funny is we're saying that every year. So this year, I'm doing my part, and we are talking about the community of health because it's so much easier. It really is just a time, it is that time to address the different factors that, frankly, you know, there are a lot of parts of our health. There are a lot of elements of what it means to stay and be healthy that really your community has a ton of impact. I mean, obviously, if you are, around people who are always exercising and eating right and, just doing the right things, you're naturally going to kind of you're going to do what they do, even if you don't want to, just to be a part of the group. And the same thing goes the other direction. If you're with a lot of individuals who are not respecting their health or they have incredibly unhealthy habits, they're always bringing in the birthday cakes and the donuts and all of that, into your environment, it's going to be harder to stick to choices that you know are better for you. So that's what we are going to be talking about a lot over the next 90 days. Now, the individuals who I work with on a very, very consistent basis, they are not lazy people. The people who I work with, they are driven and they really care about their health. And they'll do what they need to do. They just want to know what to do. The individuals who I love working with and the ones that, we work best together. They're not looking for more prescriptions. They're not looking for more medications. They are looking for real answers. They're looking for real solutions. They don't want they don't want to walk into their doctor's office and be, run these handful of tests and be told everything's normal, see you next year. They don't want to they don't want to go in, get blood work done and be like, "Okay, well here's the medications that you need now this year." A lot of the people that we're in that age range, as we're getting, 40s, 50s and beyond, where especially those who are really trying, they're really you've got career, you've got family, you've got all the things. It's the typical progression is, you get your cholesterol starts going up, so you're on your cholesterol medications and a high blood pressure. So we start to see that those medications. Sometimes there's like a thyroid something in there we may be addressing, and then almost always there's the anti-anxiety, antidepressant, because we just have so much going on that is now the next script. And all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, how did I become this person who is on all of these prescription medications? And the individuals who I work with are the ones who that's not what they want. They want to know the natural solutions for their health. How do I need to be eating? How do I need to be exercising? Do I need supplementation? What supplements will work? What makes a difference? And then we use a data driven approach to get them the answers that they need. So if that's something that you believe in, that's what you're looking for, please do subscribe to this channel. We're going to be getting into so much of those action steps. And my procedures, I'm not going off of, like, what the latest research says, or what I heard over here. I'm going off of data. I've got before and after lab work that are showing this is what is moving the needle. Done. I don't care what works as long as it does work. So that's how we approach things over at GoodDoctors.Health. And in this series, The Community of Health, we are talking about the things that kind of hang people up. All right. So a lot of individuals come in, we get their expanded labs. We don't just run a typical annual physical lab. That doesn't tell you enough. We run a very comprehensive blood work. And when we do that and we go through all of those numbers, okay, here are the specific nutrients that you're missing. Here's what your body is asking for. Here's what you need to do to feel your best. So we go through that process, and that's straightforward enough. But then there's still some individuals who are like, yeah, but I know to do all of these things, but these certain habits just keep getting in the way. And it can be a whole range of things. I mean, my goodness, we could spend the next hour listing all the potential bad habits that we can develop, from, eating too much to eating the wrong things, not enough exercise, over stressing about things. I mean, the list goes on and on of the bad habits that we've developed. Here's the thing, and we're going to be talking about, the ones that just won't. You are aware, because that's the first step. You just need to be aware of what's not working for you, and you'd be really surprised how many people aren't. That's why I put this in the community of health series, because does help to have people who love you and care about you to help show you your blind spots, help you see some of the things that you can't see. These habits, because here's what it comes down to: habits are part of your subconscious brain, right? And subconscious is subconscious. You're not aware of them. Other people can see you doing this, but you will not have a conscious awareness of these patterns. It's just how this whole process works. And here's what I'm going to tell you: your subconscious brain, so there's the conscious, which makes, like the decision making factors, and there's the subconscious, which controls 90% of your actions throughout the day. Your subconscious brain automates anything you do every single day. Okay, think about that for a second. So your system automates, your subconscious brain automates anything that you keep repeating. Now, why that's significant? So that's great for good habits, like brushing your teeth. Most of us now, brushing our teeth, it's automated. We don't really think about it. It's just part of the progression of things that we do in a day. Again, another example: driving a car. It's just something that you can do on autopilot. You don't have to think your way through. You don't have to logic your way through driving your car anymore. Those are good. Those are great habits to be able to do. Then we have our negative habits. And this is like, for instance, stress eating. Go, instead of decompressing and having healthy stress coping mechanisms, go into the refrigerator and self-soothing with food. We could get, there are obviously negative habits of just, consuming the wrong things, consuming things that are just flat out bad for us. Is another major one of the factors that so many of the people I'm working with deal with. Another one is just with regards to exercise. Excuse me. A lot of individuals, they get started on the right things, and then they just fall away so quickly. So here are the two ways. Here's the two ways that you can start to counteract your bad habits. Number one is you create an opposite habit. So this is like, for instance, if somebody's trying to quit smoking, well, instead of reaching for a cigarette, they reach for, you fill in the blank. Some people have recommended, like, okay, instead of, if people are smoking because they have like an oral fixation, then you reach for like carrot sticks. Or if they are, smoking because, it's a social, they talk about, finding different ways to have that social engagement in a way that gets that reward system. This is definitely a way. This is definitely a way to do it. But most of the individuals that I'm working with, they're really smart people, and they've tried that already, and it didn't work. They weren't able to reengage, or because it was that the whole thing is just so subconscious. They don't even recognize when they're going to the refrigerator. They don't even recognize when they're reaching for the cigarette, or you name it. So, in the context, and here's what I get into in our Bio Recode program. And we're going to be hosting a free webinar on this, as in this coming month, because we are halfway through our 12-week program right now. I'm going to be refining and re-engineering various pieces of it, and then we're going to be doing another series here. BioRecode is essentially, how do you reprogram? How do you recode your nervous system so that you can effortlessly have wonderful, healthy habits? Yeah, again, we know this is possible because you have healthy habits. You brush your teeth every single day. That is a simple, healthy habit. How can we make all these other healthy habits as effortless as that? And that's what we teach in BioRecode. So if that's something that you are interested in, please do go down into the description, go to the link, and just get on the waiting list for the next one. This has been pretty popular program, and I really am excited about what we're going to be doing with it next time. One of the things that we teach in BioRecode is how your subconscious is essentially programmed in two ways. One is with emotion, and one is with a survival story. So that is one of the key things that we break down, and we work you backwards through, because once you break apart, going from the survival story and the emotion, once you break apart a subconscious program, it's gone. And what's so cool is this is where you've seen the individuals who have smoked for years and even decades, and one day they just put down the cigarettes and they're done, and they never go back. They're fine. This is where we've seen like alcoholics who just one day they just got it, and they pour out everything, and then they're done. They never go back. It's just instant transformation. This is the power of the subconscious. And that's one of the things that we get into in BioRecode. And the reason why I do BioRecode, it's pretty straightforward, because yeah, some people just need a little bit of B12 or some vitamin D, or some other dietary change, or something with regards to their lifestyle to have the health that they are looking for. But then there's just a huge population of individuals who they know all of the things. They've been down this road so many times, and yet here they still are. Here they're still having these same issues, and I just can't let that be. That is something that I intrinsically must address. Is as a physician, when individuals don't get better, that just grates at me. I have to know. I mean, if we can't get them better, I have to know why at least. But as a general, people get better. The body is designed to heal. Human beings, as long as you're alive and breathing, your body is working on healing. So why isn't it doing it now? We are designed to heal. Now, here's really simple. If you get a cut on your arm right now, within minutes, it's going to clot. Shortly, you're going to have a scab. And then within a few days or a couple weeks, that, that cut on your arm, it'll look like nothing ever happened. That's your body's innate ability to heal. It is always heal. So if you can heal from a cut on your arm, anything in your system can heal. So it begs the question, if somebody's not getting better, why? When we're designed to get better. So that is the big reason why I've started to get so much into this neurology and so much into this deeper subconscious program. What are the things that are keeping this individual from the natural health that is your God given birthright? So we do go through all of that. Um, uh, when we're looking at what's the plan, like for those of you who are waiting on bio recode, we really get into the it, I hope most of you can imagine that when we get into the topic of subconscious program, that's something that takes a bit more than about 10 minutes to explain, how to to rewire your subconscious brain. It is incredible how much you can accomplish, but for the sake of this video, the very first step, the very first step is awareness. Because if you're not aware, well, you really can't fix a problem you're not even aware that you have. And that's why I love this in the community of health series, because when you're going through, it is so easy to see these things in other people. It's very hard to see them in ourselves. So with those who you've made part of your community, this we're working together. We are we're going to be a team here for the next 90 days. This is a really good question to be asking is, this is what I'm trying to do. Do you see anything that is keeping me from getting those kind of results? And hopefully, you have people who love you enough and are honest enough to tell you the truth of what it is that they can see, what blind spots that you have. I mean, we see this in every, I mean, how many times have we had our sister, our best friend, or, colleague who's going on another diet? And we're almost like laughing inside because this is the fifth one in 3 weeks that they're going to get into. We see why it's not working. It's pretty obvious to us, but yet to her, she's just completely mystified as to why she's not getting results. The individual who is like having all of this stress, and it doesn't matter what happens, even when circumstances change, even whenever they finally retire, they finally get the promotion, when they finally whatever happens, they're still stressed. It's obvious to us, not so obvious to them as to what's going on. So when you're looking, and hopefully, again, with grace, we can point these different things out, because it's not always the easiest thing whenever somebody shows us that side that we just weren't really all that aware of. So the biggest part of the plan is, number one, creating an awareness, and then number two is start where you can start as to changing those habits, recognizing when it's happening so you catch it sooner, and then what is it that you can do to turn that back around. I know it's so ridiculously simple, but it makes a world of difference. And when you add up these small steps, when you add up just these small things, they may not look like a whole lot after a few days. I'm going to tell you, a few weeks, few months, and definitely a few years later, you're a transformed person. So that is a lot of what we get into in BioRecode. So if that's something that you are interested in, please, like I said, sign up on our waiting list. We'll make sure that we get you the free invite to our next series. And for everyone else, I look forward to joining you on our community.